And there I was in the Forbidden Forest, and I saw that Granger girl shoving her gat in that Weasley boy's face, whilst Aragog clapped and look-maxed. And then Coisinat said he had to pay the Phantom tax, so he got some of that gat too. Dear Lord, what does any of this rizmaxing, looks-maxing, goon-maxing, dear Lord, even saying it sounds heinous. What does this all mean? It's nonsense. It means nothing. But most importantly, don't let J.K. Rowling hear any of this, because she will freaking retcon Harry Potter that this is now canon. She'll be like, actually, in my head, that's how I always imagine Harry Potter to be. Shut up, you mid-writer. Just go live in the woods or whatever. Stop changing the Harry Potter universe. It's done now. Just walk away from it. Hello there, my name is Cowder's Life, and if you're new to this channel, we do video essays talking about things on the internet, and then we all talk about it in the comment section below. So, if all of that sounds like fun for you, please feel free to subscribe. And apparently 96% of you weren't subscribed who watched my last video, which is an overwhelming amount, I think. What does that say about my channel? And if you're not new here, hello again, friends. It's your boy Cow. I'm still here. I'm still making videos, just about. And I'm doing pretty good, I feel. I'm still quite tired, but I'm still hanging out with my friend Josh, the one that I mentioned last time, who owns a clothing brand and is a graphic designer. And we're still together exploring the realms of digression and what that looks like to me. And we've been looking at surrealism and diffraction and flowers, because I like flowers. And it makes me feel good and validated that I've got digression, the thing I do so much, in picture form now. And when I'm finally happy with my picture that I've been making, I will show it all to you, I'm sure. That's enough about that and my side quests I'm currently doing. Let's get into today's video essay, which is about brain rot, that heinous thing that plagues the internet. Brain rot core. It is dumbing us down, or is it just fun? We're gonna discuss it all today. Now, if you have absolutely no clue what I mean when I say brain rot core content, I envy you so much. Perhaps you're just not as terminally online as I am, You don't spend every fleeting moment just swishing through TikTok like I do. I envy you and your ability to touch grass. But you probably have actually been exposed to brain rot core content at some point in your life. You just haven't been exposed to the goon maxing, edge maxing, skibbity toilet stuff that is so prominent now on the internet. An example of early brain rot content would be something like Nyan Cat, I would say. That's a very early form of it. Content that doesn't really add anything to the world. It's just there and it makes your brain go, huh, that's cool. Funny beat, catchy beat, and dancing cat. Wowee, I'm gonna watch that on loop for 12 hours. That's the only thing I can get to sleep to. That's the only thing that could make little Cow get to sleep at night, was putting on Nyan Cat and watching it do its thing. Go, buddy, go. Eesh, terrible. That's probably a large reason why I am the way I am now. Just overexposure to the most devoid of any depth content. Too much of it. Brain rot content has always been there, just silly memes and videos that don't really give anything to the world, but they've got catchy tunes or little bits of funny quirkiness, and it's just there, and you just look at it because you're like, haha, funny, and you don't really have to think about it. It's just there. It's very easy to digest. But as internet culture evolved and we got apps like TikTok, I feel like the amount of brain rot content on the internet available for us to consume has just skyrocketed. If you invested in brain rot content in the OG days, your stocks will be worth billions now. You'll be sitting on your boat in some country being stonks. I feel because the fact that I'm talking about brain rot content is bringing all these old memes up in my head, and I'm just stonks, which is, I haven't said since I've been 13 years old. Terrible Cow. But long gone are the simple days of Nyan Cat, and now we've got things like mulch maxing and goon maxing. Basically anything you can think of, stick maxing at the end of it. Edge maxing. Don't look that up. There's just so much downright absurd content out there now that you just scroll and you lifetime lose IQ points because of it. But it feels good because it doesn't actually require you to think critically. It's just there and you're ha ha ha. Funny cat mulch maxing, or funny little dog, zooey mama, I love that, give me more. Brain rot content at its core is just the mindless content that requires no ability to think, that just floods our feeds every day. Whether it's the AI deepfakes of Hagrid saying heinous things, or whatever the hell this is. None of this serves a purpose other than escapism from the realms of reality, I suppose. The reason why I think I'm so interested by brain rot content, I've just been researching it for weeks, is because yes, at face value, it's only purpose really is mindless amusement. But it kind of actually has some negative ramifications to society if you choose to deep it, like I very much have. So let's explore the wacky world of mindless content together, and perhaps I can ruin it for you like I've ruined it for myself. Oh boy. I just want to show you like a couple of the most popular forms of brain rot content I see on TikTok, just so that we can fully paint a picture in our heads of brain rot content, also maybe expose ourselves to it so we're all on an equal playing field. We've all got brain rot in this video. You know, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. So with that, here's Hagrid saying heinous things.
I caught Hermione shaking her gap for kice and ass. So there I was, eating some garlic bread and getting some head in McGonagall's office. And I hear a loud sus noise.
Yeah.
Someone's screaming the word gat.
What does all of this mean? Maybe this was J.K. Rowling's plan all along. She knew that this was the future for Hagrid. Brain rot content king. He sits on the iron throne that is brain rot content. Again, don't let JK know this, or she will retcon Harry Potter for that to be the law. Dear Lord. Another popular one is mulch maxing, which is whatever the hell this is.
I am a soil-pilled mulch maxing, sister of the loam. I am a single mother of 8.
That's all I'm going to show you of that one, because I literally feel my brain cells shriveling up and dying, because that one part of me is like, cute puppy. And then you're like, wait, what is this childlike voice saying? You're a single mother of 3 that what? Like, no. Enough of that. Stop. I don't care if it makes your brain feel good. Not okay. It's like when an app gives you like a fake little prize to keep on playing. Don't let this content consume your life. Go outside, touch grass, fall in love, make memories that last a lifetime. Don't watch this. Don't be like me. Our beloved David Attenborough has even been on the cold end of brain rot cause fist.
Skibbity toilet is peak brain rot. If you don't edge to skibbity toilet every day, you're not a Sigma and you will need to start mewing.
Like, why? Yes, it's made me laugh, but like, it's just random words being put together and that makes funny ha-has, right? Like, there's no depth. I'm going insane. I'm actually going insane just through watching this content. This is what Evil Old Man Incorporated want. They want a dumbed down population. They want us goon maxing and edge maxing. And I want to stop saying those words. Dear Lord, I'm a grown man. I would like to go the rest of my life without saying those words, but I'm probably going to say them like 50 billion more times in this video. This video in itself is like the brain rot core version of a video essay. But I hope that really does paint a sufficient picture in your head of this type of content. It's just stupid words being chucked together for like mindless amusement. And I think that really does just bring me on to my first talking point, which is like the appeal of just mindless entertainment. And by that, I think because of the world we live in, where everything's always like, you have to be switched on, you're getting notifications from all the apps you're on, you know, you got work, you gotta look good in real life, you also gotta look good online, you gotta be Instagram ready, you've gotta be all this, that, and the other. There's so much going on in life, there's just stimulus everywhere, there's adverts everywhere. You're walking down the road, there'll be an advert on the bus, on the side of someone's house, more. Sometimes it's very overwhelming, and I totally get the want for just like sheer escapism. And I think in the modern day world now, where we're all living in like tower blocks together in like cities, it's so tough to escape and have your actual own moment of quietness, you know? Most young people are having to live with friends, so to get that escapism or that feeling of just doing something by yourself, it's so tough. But I think mulch maxing may sometimes give me like a few seconds of just sheer escape, and I feel by myself because it requires no thoughts. It's so easy to digest, and you just sit and smile whilst a puppy like is on screen and there's like a silly voice just saying things. And it was like the same back in the OG days with the Nyan Cat. You kind of just looked at it, laughed and giggled, and it's just kind of like hypnotizing, because it's just the same thing over and over again. Your brain's just like relaxes and lets its guard down, and you're not being bombarded by like all the stimulus of the outside world, and you're like, inner peace. This is what Master Oogway was talking about. We found inner peace through mulch maxing. I am now the dragon warrior. The bar is low. And I kind of want this to be my first point, so you don't think I'm being all like high and mighty, being like, I don't watch brain rot content. I'm above that. I'm a Sigma male. I'm stoic. I'm brain rotting again. I'm using stupid terms that don't really mean anything. But like, no, I'm definitely a part in this problem. I love this content. When I'm doom scrolling every day after work and I'm trying to like de-stress and de-chill, I just sit there and I just watch Hagrid say weird, heinous things. And at first I was like, haha, this is so funny. But also it's actually kind of weird and heinous because Hagrid's like an old ass man and Hermione is a kid in those movies. So he shouldn't really be talking about Gat and Hermione in the same sentence, really, should he? Dear Lord, it kills me that I'm saying all of these words over and over again. So now that I've got that out of the way, I've said my piece that, you know, I'm part of the problem too. Let me get on to point 2 of this video essay, which is like the proliferation of like memes and funny little videos because of apps like TikTok. There's been such a rapid increase in brain rot content because the videos are so short form on TikTok. They're not long. The long videos aren't getting pushed. People just want the instant gratification to feel good. They just want to see Hagrid say something funny and silly. They want to hear you say skibbity toilet goon max riz up livy done. They want you to say all of these weird things that mean nothing because it's so easy to digest. You actually want to sit me down for 5 to 10 minutes and actually make me think about something critically? I want to see the dancing rabbits and bunnies whilst mulch maxing. Yes sir, sign me up to that. I don't want to think anymore today. There's too much, you know? I just want the bunnies. I sound like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. And now I'm also having like a existential crisis. That is the reason that I digress and my mind is so scattered and sporadic, is because I just consume so much of this content on a daily basis that my mind is just flooded with sheer nonsense. Maybe that's it, team. There may be no hope for me, but maybe in the making of this video, you can save yourself. The algorithm really does just reward this type of content, and that's why I think we've seen popularity of it go through the roof, because a creator doesn't have to create authentic, genuine content that resonates with the audience. They can literally just mulch max, goon max, skibbity toilet max. Is that a thing yet? If it's not, I'm trademarking it. Take me to Mogwarts. You know, all of this is so much easier to make, and you can just keep adding to that shit pile of brain rot content than actually trying to like create something new and of purpose, right? Once again, not being a hater, I'm all for it. Kind of, not really. But you know, I've watched the content so many times of like these weird deepfake AI videos and like the mulch maxing. I'm not being like, you should watch my videos instead of that. No, I understand. Not everybody wants to sit down for 40 minutes and listen to this whiny man rant on about things that don't really matter in the real world, I suppose. Someone right now is slamming the screen down on their laptop of my video and they're picking up their phone to watch some goon maxing Hagrid. These sentences I'm saying are just so curt. The normalization of like trivial, superficial content is crazy. The growth it's experienced is wild. And clearly we all have it as our guilty passion, you know, the thing we love. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like every other TikTok I'm given on TikTok. And I know I'm guilty for curating my own feed. And if you don't experience brain rot on TikTok, wowee, what's it like to actually touch grass and be a functional member of society? And like laughing and joking around aside for a second, this kind of brings me on to point 3, which is like, because of the huge rise in popularity of just this type of content, this is the new meta on TikTok if you want to pop off. You know, you could argue it's had a fact on like societal culture and norms. Like, I'm in an office of grown men and you'll hear them use words like goon maxing and edging, and it's like, obviously not being serious. I'm not like in a room of like just degenerates that are like, I'm going to goon max now, or I'm the edge lord. Not like it's not like a fucking Reddit forum in there. But like, people use these words in like casual conversation, and I'm as guilty, right? Obviously, ironically, but I'll be like, yeah, I'm a Sigma male. Or I'll be like, which is so disappointing, really, because when my parents were my age, I think they were like getting married and having kids. And I'm like talking about trying to be a Sigma male and going to Mogwarts because there's no saving me at this point. I've mulch maxed to the extreme and now my brain is mush. I'm going to be like carted off to like the mulch maxing rehabilitation center where I'm slowly going to turn into one of those tiny cats, rabbits or dogs. And I'm like, I'm a single mother of 3. Oh, I love it, but I hate it. My long battle with the addiction of mulch maxing. But yeah, like if you truly look at like the broader implications of this stuff culturally, it really has just like created like what I think is like genuine movements to like, you know, trivial, superficial content cool. And I think that kind of can, you know, maybe I'm just being terminally online and let me know in the comments, but I think that kind of creates a world of like apathy and, you know, maybe a bit of shallowness. And like, again, once I said, this is me really analyzing brain rot content, which nobody asked for. But I was just thinking about it the other day and it caused an existential crisis in myself. And I thought, well, hey, if I'm having one, Let's take it to the internet, you know? But in a world where we're like, yeah, Mulch Max, Goon Max, Hedge Max, Max, all the Maxes in the world being like, stop saying my name. But in this world where this is the norm and this is what's liked and this is what resonates with the people, I don't want authenticity in that world. I don't want you to actually tell me about things or like raise awareness, man. I just want my Mulch Max, which, you know, I'm not saying in totality, I'm obviously being slightly jokey, funny, haha. But, you know, I generally do think it does just create this like, bleh, like mindset, because like when you're coming home and you know you can just go on your phone for escapism after work or after school or after like education or whatever you're doing in your life when you're not in the world of brain rot, when you see like a long video that's like talking about something serious, sometimes it just feels so overwhelming. And when you know you can scroll maybe like 2 more TikToks and then you'll be greeted with, and then I saw Hermione shaking her gap for Christ and that Phantom Tax, Skibbity Toilet Riz, Goblin, you know? Sometimes if we're all being honest, we know which one we're gonna click on because it's so much easier to digest and it will make you smirk and you'll think, that's so dumb. But then the next day you find yourself talking to your manager at work and then you'll be like, I need to go to the skibbity toilet, you know? That totally real scenario that definitely does happen. I'm not being terminally aligned with this video essay, you are. What does that mean? I don't know. This whole thing is stressing my brain out because it's so nonsensical. So the nuance of trying to create a video essay about it is kind of interesting, but I think there's real points there, I think. And in fact, I know there's deeper points there because my next point is slightly deeper because now we're starting to go past the surface level of like brain rot content and why it's maybe bad. And now we can talk about escapism versus enjoyment in this landscape. You know, in this goon maxing hell pit where meaningful discourse and critical thinking is overshadowed by, you are the chosen one, you are the Mulch Max of 5,000, you are the single money? You are the single mother of 60,000. You know, in this world where it's overshadowed by this like overlord kitty, again, crazy sentence, I think we kind of have to like find a balance within ourselves where we, you know, watch this funny types of ha-has, but also try to engage with content that has substance. And you're probably thinking, boo, here's boo, that doesn't sound fun, Cal. The only reason we stand watching you is because your videos are like the brain rot core version of a video essay. They're not really video essays, you're so sporadic. I know, I'm working on it. This whole channel's a joke. Excessive consumption of only brain rot content, I genuinely believe will hinder one's ability to like actually focus on like important world issues, things that are going on in the world, and, you know, engage in positive activities to, you know, create a better society. And I know I sound very terminally online right now, and I sound like that guy on the street that's like, the end of days is coming. Brain rot content will kill us all. We're all doomed and damned. We must escape now and read books and write poetry and create. But we should actually be doing that. Creating stuff, original stuff that is genuine and you put your heart out there, I think is real and beautiful. And yes, we can do the funny ha-has to Mulch Maxing and Goon Maxing and Sigma males and all of that stuff and Riz Academy or whatever. But like, I don't know, it's also nice to make real things, right? And be genuine and create. I don't know, you don't have to be great at everything. Like, I'm not a great drawer or designer, but I'm still having loads of fun trying to do those things. And I do those things because it does create discomfort in me because I know I'm not good. And I generally do think like just doom scrolling on TikTok and consuming all this content has just made me want to always have like instant gratification and just do easy things because it's so mindless, it's so simple, it's so stress-free. It escapes me from like the realities of my life and all the pressures and expectations there are upon me, you know, set by myself, you know. I'm not like some like evil overlord behind me or whatever. It's tough because when you have all of that content at your disposal that you can just sit through for hours and hours and hours, the thought of actually like being genuine and like trying to do something just doesn't seem as appealing, really, especially after a hard day of work or whatever. And society breaks you down, man, which is what like all of my video essays come back to. We're all just doing our best, right? And we're all just trying to get amongst it and just survive in this help it. And it sounds so terminally online that I'm saying this all out loud, but like I feel this sort of stuff doesn't really contribute to a nice, positive, good society. It just contributes to a society where we just say and do random things and that funny, but like, what does it mean? What do you gain from that? But then that causes another existential crisis in me because then I'm like, but what is the point of anything? Maybe we are just meant to Mulch Max, Goon Max, Sigma, male, stoic, skibbity toilet on that beat. Yeah, and I'm not trying to be like, we should all be hand in hand dancing around, you know, creating stuff, buying from small organizations. No, I don't know what I'm trying to say with that. But like, if we do so much brain rot content, like if we watch so much of that, it really will detract and make you not want to do or engage with good things. Like, you know, if someone's trying to raise awareness of something going on in the world, and you're like, just scroll through that because, you know, you just want to have the easy laughs, the quick laughs that you can get. And I think that's the trouble with short form content. It prioritizes just blah, funny, loud, good noise, so feel good, over like compelling, genuine positiveness to society. But I think that's so hard to impactfully put into short form content, which is why, you know, social media and apps like TikTok that love short form content, weird, are overran with brain rot, because it's the complete path of least resistance on the path of least resistance. So like TikTok is the path of least resistance, right? It's just easy, mindless fun. And then on that, the easiest route to go down is just brain rot. So it's just like instant gratification to the mind. That was a crazy hand movement. Skibbity toilet riz, Sigma on God, no cat. I think I have really bad brain rot, guys. And, you know, if I have brain rot, okay, from this content, and I'm a grown man that grew up probably before being exposed to all of this content, and it's still having an effect on me, it kind of makes me think about like the ethical nature of this content and like digital well-being, which is my next point. Ethical concerns and digital well-being. Let's get into that. I may be a lost soul, but let's think about the children. You know, these content creators that do just pump out this content, and you know, some of them will make money because this stuff can be monetized, you know. Some of these people will be making money from this, and they know they can just keep pumping out this mindless content. If this is like the majority of what like young malleable minds that just absorb information, if this is like the main bulk of what they're consuming is, surely that's going to have some negative side effects. And I know all of this really does just sound like such a terminally online thinking the worst take, but like, if you're permanently just frying your brain with this stuff, boom, 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 yeah, how are you going to focus in school when all you're thinking of is like goon maxing, mulch maxing, edge maxing, mulch maxing times 10, skibbity toilet riz? I'm going insane. But like, surely it's going to affect their attention spans. There must be a graph out there that shows like, since brain rot core has become so prominent and kids' attention spans, and like just go hand in hand to just destroying society, which is what Creepy Old Man Incorporated want. They want a complicit society where we're malleable and we can be herded like sheep. Maybe the governments are behind brain rot content. That's what I'm putting forward, my crazy conspiracy of the video. If this is the content that kids are permanently being subjected to, like, will teachers have to adapt the syllabuses in the education system to fit mindless content? Like, when they're teaching about history, they'd be like, and then King Henry VIII rizzed up skibbity game jock Sigma mega chad moves on 8 different wives and then chopped their heads off. It's totally not swag up, bless up. I can't do it. I'm just not down with the kids. I'm not relatable anymore. But I suppose it'd be weird if I was trying to be relatable, as I'm really quite old. How old you are? 6 billion. I'm a wizard. That's what I tell myself on the weekends when I'm LARPing and role-playing. Anyway, we digress. I think overexposure to this type of content will make people long-term feel hollow. Like, yes, you may feel good in the moment because it's mindless, but like, doing mindless stuff is all fun and games until your brain switches and it wants you to start thinking critically or make you think about something, but you have nothing to draw on. You're just this empty vacuum of skibbity toilet, and that doesn't sound very good to me. You know, if you're gonna get stuck on something on TikTok, get stuck on Hope Core. That stuff makes me feel incredible. Always makes me cry though. I'm a very sensitive man. And I suppose as we're getting to like the latter side of this video essay, when I look at it as a whole, it's more like just like the evolution of online content and how it's just changed so much in the space of like 10 years. If we're going from like Nyan Cat to like genuinely really quite sophisticated, believable AI deepfakes of like Hagrid saying the most heinous things, what does it mean for like the future of online content and like comedy and like engaging content? Like, what will it look like in like 50 years time? Genuinely, that's a question. What will it be? You know, content as a whole is just getting more and more simplified. I suppose with the use of like technology and like AI and stuff, it's just becoming more and more soulless and devoid, and it's all the same. Like, so what will it be in, you know, 100 years time? Will we just like stare at this screen that's been like artificially made with supercomputers that just makes you happy, and everyone will be like, have you seen the latest blue screen? And everyone will be like, yeah, that's the most amazing thing of my life. Or maybe by that point our brains will be so rotten we won't even communicate with each other. We'll just be like, and that will mean, yeah, that was amazing, skibbity toilet riz up baby Gronk. I've had like a painful realization that like all the way through this video essay, I'm coming across like the cringy substitute teacher that's trying to be like relatable. I'm not. This has melted my brain. I've researched into it, and I fear I become what I sought to destroy in this video essay. I've just shown how genuinely rotted and destroyed my brain is, and it's not like in a cool, funny way. It's in a, this is the reality of overconsumption of this type of media. A man that doesn't make sense most of the time. And he talks in riddles, but not good ones. He's not like Gollum in that cave scene. I just make sporadic ranty video essays about whatever I wish to info dump on next. And like, laughs and jokes aside, like my final point on, I think, brain rot content in general is like how we can fight back, like potential solutions, and why we do need those solutions. You know, if you do find yourself going to the pit of just watching just mindless content that means nothing and adds nothing to your life, if you can, I know you don't always want to, because you're using that content as a form of escapism for something else, and if you're not ready to, you know, jump from that easy escapism or whatever, I totally understand. But like, if you can maybe do also engaging content that does have some substance and thought behind it. And that's not me saying my content, because I don't even know if there's any substance or thought here. I'm kind of just an explosion of thoughts and words at this point in this video. But I think it is genuinely important to consume content that does challenge your views, even if it's something you don't always agree with, but something that just gets you thinking, gets the cogs turning in your head, because it's so important for things like an ability to have like actual empathy and a developed emotional range, and not just be this void vacuum that just sits there, twitches and says like skibbity toilet phantom tax. You want to have depth, and you want to have your emotional range, and you want to have empathy, and you want to be able to digest things that are of meaning to the world and be part of a positive, good society where you engage with each other, right? And you want to have media literacy, which is such an important thing in this modern world. In a world where we are just become more and more entwined with the digital era. It's the age of digitalness. If this was Elden Ring, it'd be the age of digitalness instead of like the age of stars. Super funny joke if you like Elden Ring. Anyway, in this era where there's so much just fake stuff on the internet and like the AI videos, you need to be very media literate to work out what's real and what's not. And I feel if you're always just watching this sort of content, your brain's going to be so gooey that you won't be able to like think critically on these matters, and you'll be like, yeah, that's real. Or you'll just see something on the internet and you'll take it for real. And I'm not saying that is the case. I'm not saying that's what people do. I'm just theorizing and speculating on what the outcome could be if this is your main form of content you consume, I guess. And I know this is such a terminally online thing to say, but like maybe, just maybe, consume that content in moderation. And I know it's so terminally online, and like most likely I'm sure it's harmless, but like I just have a gut feeling that all of that sort of stuff just isn't good for you because it's not real. You know, interact with the real stuff. And I don't know quite what I mean by that, and maybe it can just be simplified by touching grass, but that also is cringe and overused. I don't know. Something with meaning, something with purpose. Draw, create, engage with that stuff. We want to foster a society that is on critical thinking and actually sharing thoughts and opinions, not just mulch maxing, goon maxing, look maxing, mog maxing. And I suppose there's a bigger picture. It's just to get people to critically think about their consumption of media online, what they actually are consuming. Are they just echo chambering themselves with one type of thing? Maybe this could be how one should go on the internet in general. Like, don't just consume one thing, because then it's just this very one-dimensional world. It's good to consume loads of different things so that your brain's very well developed in the modern day world, that you're up to date and you can think critically about all these things, and you do have good media literacy and you can tell real from not real. Too much of one thing is not a good thing, even if it is silly, funny ha-has and requires no thought process. It's good to think, and it's good to challenge your thoughts and actually think about things. So now, with my sporadic points out of the way, let's conclude this absolute brain rot video essay. You know, at face value, it's just funny ha-has, and it's just like pop culture, like things you can share with your friends. It's very easily digestible, and it's just harmless, good fun, you know? I get that. It's fun. It's a form of escapism. No quarrels with it. I'm not hating on it. I consume lots of it too, as you can probably tell. But as we like look more outwardly instead of so insularly, and actually look behind it, I think it does erode one's ability to like critically think and, you know, engage with things of actual importance in society, you know? Because like I said, if you're tired from work or whatever, and you come home and you just want to chill out, and you've got the options of brain rot content or something of actual importance to the world, you know, raising awareness or something, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to choose the brain rot content because it's there and it's easy and it requires no thought process. And if that content's always there, people are more likely just going to pick that instead. So things that actually need to be brought to the society's attention isn't going to get as much light as it deserves, which is pretty sad. So maybe as a collective, we need to prioritize consuming content that actually is good for society, you know, actually adds something to us. And even though it's a very terminally online thing to say, having responsible digital consumption habits, I suppose. And ultimately, I think like the influx of like brain rot content on TikTok serves as like a reflection of like changing opinions and changing values within humanity as a whole. Like we all just want to escape into this easy world of just like nothingness and emptiness. And why? Because the world is so like, it's so overstimulating all the time now. So to have these outlets, which require no thought, no pre-existing knowledge, you don't have to know anything, there's no law or whatever, you can just dive in and be like, ha ha ha, funny, so silly, so cool. And it just completely distracts you from the world. Like, I get why it's there. And I suppose it just shows how like we all as humans just want to escape into these easy worlds. And I suppose they've probably always been there since the beginning of time, people just goofing around and doing their own thing. But the trouble is with social media and stuff and apps like TikTok, it's now just there in abundance, even far more than before. It's gone from being, you know, in the background, little things we all do to maybe escape that aren't really seen, to this just in your face thing that's always there. And it's now there more than the actual content, which has substance and depth, which I think could be a pretty scary thing long term. You know, in a world where there's lots of crazy stuff going on, now more than ever before do we need the ability to critically think and have empathy as a, you know, as a society, as humans, to bring each other together to promote good changes in the world. But if society's too distracted by, you know, mulch maxing 6,000, then I think that could spell out something disastrous long term, that we literally are just complicit and, you know, not really thinking about the bigger picture anymore. And I think that's all really quite scary, but maybe I'm just being terminally online, which I'm starting to think I may have been with this one. So I'm starting to worry that this isn't a good video. Let me know. I'm actually really interested to have a discussion with you all though. Like, do you think like this brain rot content isn't really that deep, and like all the kids that are just absorbing it, it's not going to affect their ability to like critically think and have empathy and just be like normal functioning human beings, you know? Do you reckon everyone will be fine? Or, you know, do we have to just accept that this is the reality now? This is the type of humans we're going to become. We're going to just become these digital memes in ourselves, and we're just going to communicate by saying these words. Or am I just being far too terminally online, and have I just gotten far too absorbed into a concept and I'm just overthinking it? Like, what do you think is going on here? Is it a me problem, or do you think this type of content is generally just bad for the brain if it's overconsumed? Let's talk. I really want to know everyone's opinions. And with that, I'm going to go skibbity toilet look max. I have to be really careful which maxes I say right now, otherwise this is incredibly inappropriate. Maybe let's just say I'm just going to go mulch max. That seems like a harmless one, right? I just turn into a little cat. Meow, meow, meow. Anyways, I've been your boy Cat is Life, and like I said, like 96% of the last people that watched my last video weren't subscribed. So if you made it this far, I don't know how you made it this far. I'm so sporadic in this video, and I'm so sorry. I've probably been very annoying. If you have made it this far, please feel free to subscribe. There'll be another video essay here, and I shall see you all in the next video essay. And I'll also see you in the comment section. Okay, bye.